Friends, it's T-Man. We're back with a brand new video. I guess you could call it a Q&A again, because, I get people always ask me, can you talk about some of the things that you post in your community section? Well, they're all related sometimes to the same thing, right? You know what I mean? It's just really like what you would call the fitness world and, the eating world, yada, 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 whatever. Okay, so I told you before many times in my videos, I said, what would expand or extend this lifespan, and actually where you're regenerating faster than you're deteriorating. Okay, so this is from AI Overview. Okay, so they took it from many sites. You can see their NCBI. You see it says +8 sites. So this is from +8 sites. Okay, so I asked it a question about positive nitrogen balance, exercise-induced muscle damage, expanding the satellite cell pool, and the extension of the telomeres, because of the satellite cell pool it's a tie-in with regeneration and the expansion or extension of the telomeres, which also aids in this repair and regeneration. So they have this drug out there they gave to these dogs. They did a test. Remember this lady, her dogs, and they were sick, and even one had cancer, and then, I don't know, they gave it a drug, and it extended the telomeres. Because the telomeres were extended, the dogs were able to regenerate, the cancer went away, and they were like young dogs again, right? Okay. One thing I noticed about exercise-induced muscle damage, I just felt like when I did it throughout the past year, when I started going back doing that, dude, I'm telling you, I felt like out of this world, especially eating like more raw animal-based diet, and just doing that, I got fucking so much better, man. And I mean just so much better, all right? Now, I stopped for a while because I'm just like that. I just take long breaks. I'm not an exercise guy. I like to regenerate muscle, but I'm not an exercise person, I'm sorry. And if I do anything that you would consider exercise, it's usually sports, okay? Anyway, so it says here, AI, this statement is a hypothesis that is plausible. It's plausible, get it? It's a hypothesis that is plausible, but I already know it works. But listen to what they say, or what the research says in Science. But not fully proven, but current research suggesting that exercise-induced muscle damage leading to muscle growth, which of course it leads to muscle growth, and positive nitrogen balance, your protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. Food, we're talking about food, animal protein, right? Natural animal, they're talking about natural animal protein, okay? Natural, like in its natural state. We're not talking about you processing it on your fry pan. So positive nitrogen balance and expanded satellite cells. So we can expand the satellite cell pool because we know that the satellite cell will divide, and then one will go to the satellite cell pool, the other one will go towards building the muscle, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so this could lengthen telomeres. So could lengthen telomeres. It does lengthen telomeres. When the satellite cell pool is expanded, they have a relationship between each other. So the way you do it without this so-called drug, right? You're expanding the telomeres instead, and then you're getting like the progenitor cells are going to get like more of them for regeneration. We're doing it the opposite. We're doing it in the natural world. We're expanding the satellite cell pool, which will lengthen the telomeres. You get, that's how it works. So, and this expansion, right, what they say here, it could lengthen telomeres and extend lifespan. And could extend, it will extend lifespan. Not could, it will extend lifespan. A connection not yet definitively established. Let me explain something to you. They say a connection not yet definitively established because nobody has ever put it to the test completely. You understand me? Nobody. All right. Well, exercise is linked to longer telomeres by potentially reducing oxidative stress and inflammation, and by increasing telomere activity. The specific role of the expanded satellite cell pool and the full nitrogen balance mechanism and telomere length is still a subject of ongoing research. I told you it will always be an ongoing research. You want to know why? Because they don't want you to know the secret to longevity and healthgevity and youthgevity. Youth. They don't want you to know what will keep you youthful all the time, static, what will keep you static from deteriorating, and what will extend your lifespan. They don't want you to know it's based on regeneration. Now, when you're in positive nitrogen balance, you're in regeneration. When you activate the satellite cell, you're in regeneration. These are two different types of regeneration, right? They're two different kinds, but they work synergistically. You can't have one without the other. Let me explain something to you. You can't have one without the other. You can't. They both work, but you can't have them. You can't have one without the other. It just is like that. Evidence for this for the links: exercise, nitrogen balance, and satellite cells. A positive nitrogen balance indicates muscle growth and repair. Yeah, muscle growth and repair. Yeah, which can be supported by an expanded satellite cell pool, the result of exercise-induced muscle damage and subsequent regeneration. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. See the word regeneration? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for regeneration. Exercise and telomere length. Research suggests that exercise can influence telomere length. Yes, we know that. We know that the expansion of the satellite cell pool will expand the telomere length. We already know that in NCBI. It's a proven given. What I'm trying to say is the relationship between you being in positive nitrogen balance and expanding the satellite cell pool, expanding the telomeres. Will this extend lifespan and you not deteriorate? Yeah. It's kind of obvious. You're regenerating now. There's more power behind the regeneration when you are putting two powerful regenerative properties together, like nitrogen balance and fucking exercise-induced muscle damage. Now you're combining the two together. You're going to get a powerful outcome. Get it? Anyway, so exercise and telomere length research suggests that exercise can influence telomere length. Reduced oxidative stress and inflammation. Regular exercise can mitigate oxidative stress and inflammation, both which contribute to telomere erosion. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do regular exercise because I know that it will do what? It will contribute to telomere what? Erosion. That's why I'm not an exercise fucking guy, dude. Get it? Now, telomerase activity. Exercise can temporarily upregulate telomerase, an enzyme that maintains telomere length. That's what we're looking for. Satellite cells. Although the relationship isn't fully established, the potential role of increased satellite cells content is preserving telomere length is a focus of ongoing research. But man, they've already done it, man. We already know it does. All right? It has to. There's a correlation between stem cells and the telomere length. There's a correlation between both of them. Now, areas of further research. Causality. A direct causal link between the expansion of the satellite cell pool and telomere elongation. We also know that there's a preservation when protein synthesis outpaces protein breakdown. When you're in positive nitrogen balance, it preserves everything. It preserves motor units. It fucking preserves everything. There's higher hormonal balance, a bunch of stuff. Okay, dude? I'm not going to get into every fucking detail, all right? So everything is working. Everything is working. Yeah, it's working, okay? Exercise modalities. The precise effects of different types of exercise on telomere length. Need more in-depth study. Yeah, I don't know about other exercises, but we know exercise-induced muscle damage. It does do that. Now, long-term effects. While short-term exercise may not allow immediate effects, chronic or long duration training might be needed to observe significant changes in telomere length. Yeah, but they've already done all this, so we already know that. Conclusion. The statement proposes a theoretical pathway linking muscle health to telomere biology and longevity, while each component of the statement has supporting evidence. See, has supporting evidence in isolation. That's why I'm combining the two. So it has supporting evidence in isolation. But once we unisolate both of them and combine them together, guess what? They work. They work. Get it? That's the whole point. The point is to unisolate and put them together, and they work. The complete sequence, including the causal role of satellite cells and nitrogen balance and telomere lengthening, and subsequent lifespan extension, requires more comprehensive research to be confirmed. They require more comprehensive research to be confirmed. Want to know why? It will be ongoing forever because they don't want you to know. They don't want you living longer, dude. They want you dead. Nobody does. Increase muscle, PubMed, increase muscle satellite cell content and preserve telomere length and response. See, they even have PubMed reports and NCBI reports. We show novel data that exercise training FSHD patients induce muscle fiber hypertrophy and triggered an expansion of the satellite cell pool and yada yada yada. You can find this on Google, man, if you want to read the whole thing. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'll put it up. I don't know. Increase satellite cell content. They're talking about this, okay? Preserve telomere length and response. So yeah, I don't know what else to say there, dude. That's about it. So there is evidence in isolation. So the evidence exists, okay? It works. But when you combine these two powerful modalities, guess what you get? Youth, expansion, extension. I know because I'm walking, talking evidence of it because I do exercise-induced muscle damage. I am in positive nitrogen balance. So I know for a fact it works because I've never felt so good in my entire life, especially eating natural raw animal products and doing exercise-induced muscle damage is definitely going to take you further, faster than the last time. You get it? So if that is your goal, if this is your goal, I'm saying if this is your goal, never mind Brian Johnson, I Am Longevity, all these phony longevity people, they're full of crap, taking synthetic tablets, vitamins, minerals. Why do you need that? Because your food is deficient in vitamins, minerals, eating a vegan diet, slave food diet, cuisine, pushing sleds all day, doing weird exercises, doing just weird things, plastic surgery, microneedling, and I don't know, man, phony push-ups for his stomach, some machine, whatever the hell he's doing there. That's not going to work. Taking steroids because you're so skinny, deficient in nutrients. He's not in positive nitrogen balance. He's in negative nitrogen balance. Therefore, he's deteriorating faster than he's aging because when you're in positive nitrogen balance, you are regenerating faster than you're deteriorating. That's what will keep you youthful. Now, what will extend your lifespan? The satellite cell pool. The satellite cell pool and the telomeres will extend your lifespan. But what will keep you young and healthy is being in a positive nitrogen balance, because that is supported by wearing off diseases and you being youthful and whatever, repairing your body and regenerating too as well, and a bunch of other stuff, okay? You get the idea. I hope that helped, man. I'll see you in the next video. Stick about that, like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next one. Youth, man, baby. This is the secret. Do you see, Ponce de Leon, he was looking for the secret, what was it? The fountain of youth. The fountain of youth, it was in front of him the whole time. It was there in the past. Now, these people will tell you in the Bible, when these people landed on a rock, they were on what was it? What was this guy? Noah's Ark, right? The crew from the Noah's Ark, the people that were left over from the Noah's Ark. Well, 3 or 4 generations passed, and there were these guys that were like 600 years old, and he asked them, how are you still here? Because, I'll explain this. They ate a natural raw diet, the raw carnivore animal diet. And they did these exercise-induced bouts of injuries. Okay, you're going to ask, what is that? Well, they had to go out hunting, right? So they would do specific movements in hunting that would cause some muscle damage because they were unaccustomed, because we know that unaccustomed exercise is what causes exercise-induced muscle damage. So every time they went out there and did something that they're unaccustomed to doing, they got this damage. They went through this regeneration, right? And they were in a positive nitrogen balance because they ate raw animal products. Get it? Yeah, yeah. See what I mean? So is it possible that that was what made them live to 600? Some recording that they have in this so-called Bible, whatever, that these guys were still alive 600 years later, and that man could have lived to 900 years or something, 1,000 even, or 900? Yeah, it's a possibility. Like I said, it's a possibility. This is probably it. But look, I mean, there's recordings of animals that are like 500 years old, like tortoises or something. I don't know, on Galapagos or some shit. So there are some animals that are out there that are long lived. Okay, man. So yeah, I don't know. Why is that? Regeneration. That's why they have regenerative. They have abilities to regenerate. Some can live indefinitely. I don't know. There's some sea animals they can literally like regenerate indefinitely. So yeah, man. Youth is the goal. I'll see you in the next one. To stay youthful is the goal, which is health, youth, and longevity, expanding or extending lifespan. I'll see you in the next one, friend. So it's not just muscles, you're expanding the satellite cell pool. You're also getting micro tears in your bone. So your bone too is going through regeneration, your bone and muscle. Your skin is always going through regeneration. It's constantly shedding and regenerating. Yeah. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends. I hope that helped.